Hello everybody and welcome back to another one of those videos where I talk about updates on Dwarf Fortress coming from Toady1 and KitFox. In this one we have a message from KitFox and it's covering the patch notes for beta 19 for adventure mode. As always, if you'd like to try the beta for adventure mode, simply go to Steam, right click on your install, go to the bottom, hit properties, scroll down to betas, and then swap to either the public beta branch or the experimental testing branch, as they are currently identical. This patch includes a bunch of bug fixes and stuff for the beta branches, so let's dive in. The first thing that has been added back in from previous versions of adventure mode and is now available in the beta is composing music, poems, dances, and writing things down. If you want to write things down, you need a choir or a scroll. You also need to have some writing skill, so keep that in mind. Don't even bother if you don't have any writing skill, as this won't be able to work. When writing poems, if you have a better poetry skill and composition skill, your poems will be better. These poems can then be spread around the world and distributed to all of those unfortunate enough to hear them. Same with your dances and music. You can also become famous in adventure mode for writing songs, so get to it. And perhaps you'll see dwarves or visitors singing your songs in one of your fortresses. The wrestle button now handles wrestling, so if you click on that, it'll automatically take you into the wrestling screen instead of having to go through the traditional combat options. This one is one I'm really excited about. Encumbrance is now visible in the inventory screen, indicating that you'll be moving slower if you're over encumbered. This used to be shown just down at the bottom of the screen, which I found to be more convenient, but this works and covers the bases that are necessary. And I think it looks a little bit cleaner than the old version. Speed is now visible in the movement speed options, so when you open up the movement speed options, you'll see the different speeds that you'll move at. This is in comparison to other creatures that are not encumbered and not injured. The faster you move, the crappier your stealth, so you'll get spotted quicker by potential enemies. This is one of the most important changes, but also one of the quietest ones, indicators for ongoing movement attacks and dodges during the player's turn in combat. The indicators for ongoing movement appear as green arrows indicating movement and red arrows indicating attacks. These are for both you, your companions, and for enemies, making the combat screens significantly cleaner and easier to watch, especially when fighting with multiple companions or multiple enemies. This is a feature that I was hoping would return for a while now, and I'm just glad to see it back in. It's one of those things that you just kinda need for adventure mode, and it's just good to have it back. Apparently there was a crash for throwing and shooting stuff under general fixes, and they fixed a input and display issue in the kitchen menu, which I haven't seen the difference there because it still just looks busted for me half the time. Apparently there was issues with gifting pets, they just wouldn't get gifted, and certain goblin torsos weren't being displayed. I do recall that. I've seen goblin torsos vanish mysteriously. With all of that being read, it's still a rather small patch for adventure mode, and Linux still crashes like absolute butts. But it's okay, I can simply right-click the game and play in compatibility mode and it runs just fine. All in all, I have to say that adventure mode is progressing well. This patch is quite small, so there isn't a huge amount there if you're looking for more to chew on, especially if you're waiting for things like the Chosen stuff or the quest log. But it is shaping up, and these are things that needed to be added. And for all those of you, myself included, waiting for quality of life updates for Fortress mode, or just content for Fortress mode, the time of that is getting ever closer. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you'd like to get a weekly roundup and update of things that I've done in the past week, check out my newsletter. It can be found in the description of this video or just by going to blindirl.com. That newsletter is a Patreon alternative as well, and there are some behind-the-scenes features that I'm still prototyping. But the main thing is you'll get a weekly email in your inbox with everything that I've done for the price of free, and if you would like to throw money at me, that's up to you. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.